invite Parks and Rec's own Tim Laurent to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the June 13th, 2019 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Bob Archer. I currently serve as chair of the commission and represent District 3 alongside Commissioner Bill Rippon, who represents District 1, and Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome. Madam Clerk, before we get started, item J was entered. It's kind of a last-minute thing, but very important thing that the timing is critical on. But could we flip-flop item I and J so that item I is the last announcement that we have on the agenda?
Sure, I'll just switch.
Just
Sure.
flip-flop.
You can do that. I can flip-flop
Is that correct?
anything you want.
Parliamentarian? Okay.
Yes, please. Flip-flop.
All right.
That's it.
Make them wait a little bit longer.
Okay,
Suspense
yeah.
is good for them.
Robert Rules covers flip-flop.
Yeah.
Okay, first item of business, please.
Okay, first item is item 3, consent agenda.
There were 5 items on the consent agenda today. Are there questions or comments?
I would move for approval as presented.
Second.
Motion made to approve the consent agenda by Commissioner Cook. That was seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business, A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Okay, under Bridge Project, Brian Oldmeyer. Construction, $58,120.65 is for the Southwest 37th Street over tributary to Nunga Creek, and that's final. And Contact Engineering Solutions, LLC, $351,599.97 is for bridge structure for Southeast 29th Street over Deer Creek. Under District Court, Eagle Technology, $16,395.48 is for court backup storage server. Under Equipment Fund, KBS Constructors, Inc., $62,306 is for courtroom renovations for room 300 and 311. Under Kiwi's Equipment Company, $17,450 is for washer for inmate laundry. Under Equipment Fund and Solid Waste Recycling, Protection Shelters, LLC, totaling $88,100 is for 2 storm shelters at the North Annex. Under Pass-Through, Kelly Construction Company, Inc., $272,276.65 is for East Topeka Learning Center. And under Special Public Works, Kelvar Construction Company, $100,275 is for the Northwest Bailey Road over Snake Creek. And as of June 12th, total vouchers was $1,778,548.94. And I move that we approve the vouchers.
Second.
Motion made to approve the vouchers by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move to approve the correction orders.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve the correction orders by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B, Bond Council, number 1, consider approval of Resolution 2019-36, authorizing the sale, issuance, and delivery of general obligation refunding bonds, Series 2019 of Shawnee County, Kansas, prescribing the form and details of said bonds, providing the levy and collection of an annual tax for the purpose of paying the principal of and interest on said bonds as they become due, and authorizing certain other documents and actions in connection therewith.
Good morning. My name is Bob Perry. This is a follow-up to Resolution 2009-25, which you passed in early May, which gave us the authority to proceed to effectuate the issuance of the Shawnee County's general obligation refunding bonds 2019. The proceeds are going to be used to prepay and redeem early the bonds from 2010, 11, and 12. We sold the bonds yesterday, or George K. Baum and Company sold the bonds yesterday. The effective interest savings to the county over the next 7 years is $513,487.44. And this resolution reflects the terms and provisions of the sale from yesterday, and the paper I handed everybody reflects the maturity schedule that was confirmed yesterday at the sale. So in essence, we've saved the county $513.487 and $87, rather, $513,487 over the next 7 years.
513,000.
513,000, just over $500,000,
Very
Bob.
good, very good. Questions or comments for our bond counsel?
Good job.
Yes.
I would move for approval of the resolution.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve the resolution by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Wow. Next item, please.
Item C, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider approval of request to award a bid to Fry and Associates to provide the concrete foundations, shelters, and installations at Skyline Park, Shunga Glen, and Collins Park sites at a cost of $64,415, with funding from all foundation funds, $16,535, and Parks and Recreation operating funds, $47,880, and authorization and execution of Contract C 221-2019 for same.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Boyd, Parks and Recreation. We are requesting approval for bids for some new shelters to be installed in 3 different parks, Skyline, Collins, and Shunga Glen. We received 4 responsible bids, and we're requesting you approve the low bidder.
John, are these all steel construction?
They are.
And,
And these are a turnkey project, so they'll pour the concrete, erect them, and complete the project.
I'll move that we approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve the request by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next item, please.
Item D, Health Department. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C 222-2019 Memorandum of Understanding with Washburn University to use the Petrol Building as an open point of dispensing in Shawnee County with no cost to Shawnee County.
Morning, Commissioners. Craig Barnes, Health Department. What you have in front of you is a memorandum of understanding with Washburn University, the Petro Building, to utilize that building in the case that we needed to open up a point of dispensing. This is a continuation of what we've been doing over the last month, is updating our current MOUs with organizations across the county in the case that we have a public health emergency where we would have to open up a site to do some mass prophylaxis or do some vaccination clinics or something of that sort. So this is just an update of an initial MOU that we had back from 2005. And this is just to update the contacts with the organization as well as to signify the name change that we had in 2016 from the health agency to the health department. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions for Craig?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Cook, and that was seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you,
Next item,
Commissioners.
please.
Item E, Facilities Maintenance. Number 1, consider approval of request to utilize $14,768.18 in contingency funding to finance emergency repairs to the West Courthouse chiller, $6,501.82 for services, and $3,699 for 540 pounds of R-134 refrigerant, and repairs for the Liebert unit for cooling, $4,567.36 at the election office server room.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Kroll, Facilities Maintenance Director. This item came all together because Samco billed us all together on this one. The Liebert unit over at the elections office, when we were doing some preventative maintenance to it back in March, we found it wasn't working quite properly, running about 50% capacity. We contacted Samco and they found some issues with the condenser fan, which they got repaired. That was not something Pat Oblander had been planning on naturally, so he asked if I would put this on the contingency request for the chiller. The chiller, after we got things started up this year, we found a leak on it that was in kind of a mysterious place, but finally located it. It was underneath, it was an O-ring on a fitting underneath the blanket of foam insulation. Got that fixed, pumped the unit down, and everything's running now, but I wasn't really planning on that, so requesting contingency funds to cover those expenses.
Questions for Bill?
I have none. I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the request by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Next item, please.
Item F, corrections. Number 1, consider approval of request to change the 2 division manager positions in Community Corrections Division from unclassified to classified positions with no financial impact on the agency.
Good morning, Commissioner. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. As you know, as of June 1st of this year, the Commission approved that the community corrections fall under the overall authority of the Department of Corrections. And again, we thank you for your trust and confidence that we'll be able to manage those systems very well. One of the things that I have done is that I have assigned Deputy Director Tim Phelps over this area to manage the daily operations while everything will obviously go through my office. But one of the things that we did was looking at the staffing in there, looking at the staffing patterns that they have, looking at the classifications, and then I was working with, both Tim and I were both working with Angela Lewis regarding this. One of the things that we found that there was a practice that the division managers at the community corrections was an unclassified position. Typically, they work at the will of the director. Since the Department of Corrections is taking it over, we do have a different structure. I am the director, we have a deputy director, and those division managers will answer directly to the division or the deputy director. In talking with Angela, we both feel that that the classification of to be an unclassified position really isn't warranted, that these need to be classified positions. It doesn't change their duties, although I was going to have Major Phelps talk a little bit about some anticipated changes or some updates to that position, but it doesn't change their salary. It keeps things more in line of what we're doing in the Department of Corrections, makes it more consistent, more efficient, more effective, and I just think it's the best way to do business. But I did want to have Tim talk a little bit about, I think that we did update the position description, and I think Tim had mentioned some stuff about grant writing and things like that, so I wanted Tim to talk about that just a little bit.
Morning, Commissioners. Tim Phelps, Department of Corrections. Just to add on, the vision that I have for those positions are that they will become a little bit less administrative, a little bit more tied into the line staff and programmatic operations. And that's going to include that we added some duties that involve researching, drafting grant applications, those kinds of things to try to improve the amount of funding streams that we have coming through the community corrections so that we can do more things for the community. I'll be happy to answer any other questions you have.
I guess my only comment is I'm not surprised that Department of Corrections is taking a hard look at community corrections for efficiency and effectiveness purposes, and I expect even more changes as we go forward.
Yes, you will.
Operation. Huh?
Yes, you will.
Good. I'm psychic. Questions for Brian or Major Phelps?
Just,
Yes, Commissioner.
as we move forward, it's come to my attention that there is some opportunities for volunteerism in the community through different community boards. If people are interested to serve in a voluntary capacity, we have 2 different boards that oversee community corrections, correct?
Yes, sir. And in fact, my intent is to get more participation from stakeholders involved in both the Community Corrections Advisory Board, which is the adult services, and the Juvenile Corrections Advisory Board is Juvenile Services, so that we can do a better job of responding to the concerns or the interests that those stakeholders have, because if we're going to be successful in the work of managing this population, we need to have as many hands involved as we can. So I'm very much encouraging that.
So if a person has an interest in serving in a voluntary capacity, would you want them to contact our office or to contact your office?
Well, I would love for them to contact me first so that we can talk about what role they can fill, and then I will facilitate getting them in contact with you folks so that they can go through the official path.
I think it's just good to note that there are opportunities to serve in, whether it's on the Parks and Rec Advisory Board, which is very important, or the Expo Center Advisory Board, but also within the community corrections. This have a direct impact in your community. So,
You're absolutely
thank you.
right. Thank you, Commissioner.
I would move for approval
Thank
of
you,
the request.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve the request by Commissioner Cook, and that was seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item F2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-223-2019 Memorandum of Understanding with Orion Education and Training to provide an adult diploma completion program to eligible inmates at the Adult Detention Center with no cost to Shawnee County.
Good morning again, Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. Before I go too far in this, I'm going to have Deputy Director Angela McCarty explain it so I don't mess it up. But we did have these types of services years ago at no cost to the county. This is a very good program. Through different funding and their lack of funding, not through the county but through the state, we had to discontinue the program. But Angela, in her going out researching and hitting the ground running, trying to find these services again. So I wanted to let her to be able to explain this.
Good morning, Angela McCarty, Department of Corrections. This is a memorandum of understanding between Orion Education. A couple years ago, we had an adult education program for high school. They could receive their high school diploma for the inmates with new beginnings. And that program lost their funding, and so we lost that program in our facility, and that was probably 3 years ago, and so 3 or 4 years ago, and now Orion has approached us. We're working with them to provide the high school diploma within our facility to our adult offenders. There's no cost. They provide all the equipment, the staff, and then we just provide the inmates in the space. So we're very excited about being able to give the opportunity for our adult offenders, again, so they can earn their high school diploma. It's not a GED program, so it's an actual high school diploma program.
And typically, these are self-paced, so we're able to have the inmates involved, and they can get on the computers with their staff, find out what credits they're missing from their local high school, had they already graduated, and then they can go in there and we can just finish that up. We found this to be very successful. The last statistics that we had, it's about 51% of the adult population was without a high school or a GED equivalent, and we think that the education and the boards that I'm working with, we're finding that housing and education seems to be some of those barriers are getting meaningful employment. So we want to continue a worthwhile program, and again, there's no cost to the county. This is something they're coming in, and it's been very successful.
It seems to me that although there's no cost, there is an impact
Oh,
for our
absolutely.
community that's very positive.
Oh, absolutely. Tremendous impact, yes.
Okay, very good. Questions or comments?
I heard all the words I like: no cost, rehabilitation, and workforce development. So
Was that a motion to
That's
approve?
motion.
Okay,
I'll second that.
I sort of implied that. Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Angela, thank you. Thank you very much. And Brian, thank you too. Next item, please.
Item G, Information Technology Number 1, consider approval to redirect a $7,500 savings from the firewall replacement project and put it towards the expected cost of $15,000 needed for the completion of a telecommunication fiber connection between the Kansas Expo Center and the Shawnee County IP network. The additional $7,500 will be paid from the 2019 Information Technology Tech Refresh budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Pat O'Blain with the Information Technology Department. Recently, our Chief Network Engineer, Mark Price, completed a project that was funded by capital outlay funds as approved last year. The total budget for that capital outlay project was $12,000. Mark Price has had extensive experience with installing firewalls and modifying them, upgrading them, maintaining them, and was able to take the purchased unit that we'd received, install it all by himself with no help from the vendor that we purchased it from, which resulted in a savings of about $7,500. So I'd like to acknowledge his expertise in getting that done and working towards saving valuable tax dollars. So thank you, Mr. Price. Appreciate that. What we'd like to do is propose that we take that $7,500 savings and put it towards another capital outlay project that we had hoped to complete this year. It was not able to be funded last year in the capital outlay budget for 2019 due to insufficient funds, but we would like to take that $7,500 savings and put it towards that project. That project was asked to be funded at $15,000, so the $7,500 would take care of half of that. We'd like to take the remaining $7,500 that's required out of the technology refresh budget from 2019 Tech Refresh Fund for IT and come up with $15,000 to get the Expo Center fiber connection from the Expo Center building to our existing Weeds building, which attaches to the rest of the Shawnee County wide area network. That would allow us to retire at least one circuit that we have in place that is a T1 circuit over old copper-based technology. It's slow, it's unreliable, and provides shaky service for the Expo Center for telecommunications services. That circuit runs at about $250 per month. So installing this fiber connection would allow us to shut that connection down and begin saving that $250 per month. There's an additional circuit that is in play over at the Expo Center that the courts are using for their limited actions docket. That's a weekly activity. That circuit is running the courts about $250 as well. Once this fiber connection is in place, we would also be able to eventually retire that circuit. So grand total savings would be about $500 per month, which would pay off the anticipated cost of $15,000 in about 30 months. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Questions for Pat?
Move that we approve.
I second. Mark, thank you for your work.
Yes. Motion made to approve by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item H, County Councilor number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-224-2019, change order number 7 with HTK and Kelly Construction, increasing the construction costs, contract cost by $14,336.10 for the East Topeka Learning Center renovation project.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jim Krause, Shawnee County Councilor. As you are aware, this is a project that the county is managing on behalf of JADO. This is not a county project, but we agreed early on, and it was probably a good idea, to step in and oversee this project that has had some issues between the first general contractor and the bonding company, and we've got a new general contractor that is working to wrap up this project. I'm not certain that this is the final change order. It is one of the final change orders. It's a minor addition to the contract to add in some final changes and items on the construction. There is sufficient money in the construction budget that has already been set for this project to cover this change order, and we're asking for your approval of that this morning.
Questions? Commissioner Cook.
Are we still staying on track, under budget overall?
Yes.
Okay. And I know that the ribbon cutting is next Friday, the 21st, and so I look forward to having that facility open and operational in our community.
Yes.
Any delays, I will say this, has nothing to do with the general contractor or the people that are working hard. This has been a brutal winter followed by a lot of rain, and that makes it very tough to get things done on time. So given weather days that would be granted under any construction contract, we're ahead of schedule when you look at it that way.
Thank you for your hard work and all of this, Jim.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to echo that. Thank you. It's been a maze of thorns, and your leadership and attention to everything is deeply appreciated by not only the commission, but by the community as a whole.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Jim. Next item, please.
We will jump to J, Emergency Management. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C 226-2019, mutual aid to make resources available for the 2019 Country Stampede event with participating political subdivisions.
Good morning again. DHing for Dusty will be Jim Crow, County Councilor. I want to give all the credit to Dusty, his team, and Jonathan Brazon, Assistant County Councilor in my office. Ever since this, it was announced that this event was going to switch to Shawnee County, they sprung into action, and they've been working hard with our other community partners to pre-plan for this event and to come up with agreements between Shawnee County. We're going to have DOC there, Sheriff's Office there, emergency management operating along with multiple city departments and other partners. This is a mutual aid agreement to try to anticipate some of the issues that will arise or could arise during the event and agree ahead of time how we're going to handle those, how we're going to share resources, and how we're going to deal with any possible issues that might arise. So they worked hard, I believe it was until 8 o'clock last night with the city attorney's office to try to get the final details on this contract in place, and I'm happy to present it to you this morning.
Do we get reimbursed for a lot of our efforts and work we're doing?
I'll let Dusty handle that.
Most of this, most of the equipment and stuff we're getting from the Northeast region, it's already pre-set up. We're just exercising those contracts that that we as Shawnee County, you all approved going back 10, however many years. So a lot of the equipment we're getting is Kansas mutual aid, and we are a mutual aid state, so many of these resources will switch in and out. What this mutual aid agreement will do is allow, for a perfect example is if we have a vehicle that's belongs to Shawnee County, is blocking a roadway, but Shawnee County deputy is not available to move that vehicle. This mutual aid agreement allows other people who have signed this agreement to get in as long as it's operated safely in the normal capacity, so forth. They can get in that vehicle and move it and still be covered. So this is going to be one of those mutual aid things that allow multiple agencies to use the same equipment without without fear of being not being able to do it, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Violating an insurance
There we go.
policy provision or something like that.
So as far as the reimbursements go, there is a contract from the Stampede people with, I believe it's the city. So there's some reimbursement stuff there. What our role in that is accountability for all those assets, all the people coming in and out, the hours they work. We do all that stuff that we've been set up for years, we've been working for. So we're just putting all these plans into play that we've had set up for years or been working towards for years. So we finally get to do our job without disaster.
Commissioner Cook?
But Shawnee County Emergency Management is not new to this position with this country stampede.
No, we've actually been on site for, I don't know, at least 7 years doing accountability and assisting in Manhattan as well. So we're just changed location.
Excellent point.
I'll move for approval.
Second that.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you for the fine work.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
The last item is item I, Kansas Expo Center. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C 225-2019 for naming rights at the Kansas Expo Center.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kellen Seitz, Spectre Venue Management, in the soon-to-be renamed Kansas Expo Center. What you have in front of you this morning is a contract proposal for a 10-year agreement of a naming rights acquisition. I'm going to step back a little bit further here. In September of 2017, when you brought our company in to manage the facility, and I speak about this a lot, what your focus was to really drive us to achieve better marketing standards, better sales capacity at the facilities on the campus of the Kansas Expo Center, and really engage in community partnerships. We felt like we've done a pretty fair job of that, and we've spent the last nearly 2 years trying to solidify a partnership like this for a naming rights opportunity for the facility. I'm happy to say that over the course of the past month, we have met with the Stormont Vale Health team a number of times, and we have come to an agreement to rename the Kansas Expo Center the Stormont Vale Events Center. So here in just a few moments, I'm going to ask Dr. Robert Carnegie, President and CEO of Stormont Vale Health, to come up and say a couple words. But I wanted to touch on what this means for operation of the facility, of the Stormont Vale Event Center, what this means for the Shawnee County taxpayers and residents of our community, the efforts that we put out to bring in additional event revenues by bringing in larger scale events, by bringing in additional partnership opportunities to the facility, further lower that operational subsidy that we operate on. So what this allows us to do is drive that down. And our ultimate effort is sometime here in the near future, we'll be able to get that operational subsidy down closer to, $500,000 to $250,000, and maybe someday we'll be operating in the black. So I know that's been a long time effort for this facility, and it's partnerships like these and great community stewards like Stormont Vale Health that make that all possible. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Dr. Robert Carnegie, President and CEO of Stormont Vale Health.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So first of all, thanks for your service, thanks for your leadership, thanks for your vision. Expanding the Expo Center, we believe, expanding and renovating is really important for the vitality of the community and will directly affect the health outcomes of our community by maintaining its vitality. I'm here to represent 5,200 team members and 135 years of service to Northeast Kansas and to this community. Our mission is to improve the health of the community, and it reaches far beyond just physical health. We are community-based, we're a local entity, and we recognize the importance of investing in our city, in our region, fostering local partnerships, and focus on improving overall health. To place an emphasis on the health of the people who live here, many of whom are patients, but many are not. We are pleased to partner with Spectra to host events that encourage active lifestyles, but also just promote a sense of community, a shared experience for those that attend events there. The Stormont Vale Event Center will continue to support the efforts of Spectra over the duration to remain the premier gathering place for Topeka and the surrounding areas. Both of our organizations have, as I've said, have a long history in Topeka and in the community and in the surrounding area, and we're looking forward to all the momentum that we've established together. This piggybacks onto the momentum that is in this community already with the Momentum 2023 initiatives, and we're really pleased and proud to be a part of that. Stormont Vale remains committed to being a leader in the community through providing the highest quality of care, strengthening relationships with local partners, and investing in our city. So thank you for this opportunity to support the vitality of our region and add to the momentum in our community and to support our mission to improve the health. So thank you.
Comments, questions?
I'd just like to thank Stormont Vale for being such a gracious partner, and looking forward to this arrangement.
We're thrilled.
Pleased to hear.
We are thrilled and are deeply appreciative of your commitment to the Expo Center and to the community. Thank you, Doctor. Commissioner Cook?
Spectra has been able to meet and exceed all of the expectations that we had when we went out for the RFP. one of the key components that Spectra said is that we can promote within our community, we can add public-private partnerships, we can improve our advertising and build our base. So far, they've met all of those benchmarks and exceeded them. And so this is just one more step in that way. The contract does allow them to negotiate the naming rights, of which they have done, and so I'm very pleased to enter into a partnership with Stormont Vale and have it the Stormont Vale Healthcare Event Center. And so I look forward to this. This is a great day for Shawnee County.
Good. It truly is.
Commissioner, do you want to approve this?
Of course I want to approve it. Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Can we get a picture?
Well done.
All right. Before we officially adjourn, I wanted to roll out the new logo and a mock-up of what the venue will look like after construction with the new logo on the side of the building there. So you just give me 1 second to pull that up. All right, so this will be the new logo of the facility. And that's what it will look like at the very end.
Wow.
Thank you again.
Keller, the time frame for this to be rolled out, when will we see the signage change? And
So some signage went up while we were speaking this morning. All of the conversion on our digital web and electronic media has changed. The new website for the facility will be StormontValeEventsCenter.com. That has already been converted while we were speaking. The old URL will still link to that new page. The new website will have all of the new logos and everything on it. All of our social media pages also underwent that same change this morning while we were in the meeting here. There will be finalized versions of the official branding sign that will go on the building that we will start to work on here momentarily. Those won't be fully installed and displayed until we start the renovation process of the upper portion of the facility there, so we can put it over top of all the new fun, exciting exterior skin that's going on the building. So, yeah.
I like it.
Very good.
Anything, any other questions?
Thank you very
again.
much.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
This is an opportunity for any member of the public or department head to address the commission.
Randy Luby, Parks and Recreation. It's pretty hard to follow that. Reminder, Saturday, we do have the Topeka 10-man triathlon out at Lake Shawnee. This is the 39th year. It's one of the longest lasting triathlons in the Midwest. Started in 1981. There's been some changes through the years, but it continues to be a very popular event. Just kind of remind the public, if you're around Lake Shawnee or in the Shawnee Heights area, watch out for bikers. They're on the roads, but it's supposed to be good weather, and I hope everybody has a good time. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Randy.
Craig Barnes, Health Department. Happy to let Randy be the segue between that and myself, so that's perfect. So what I did want to share today is the Health Department is actually partnering with Parks and Recreation to host a Live Healthy Lunch and Learn next week on June 18th, on Tuesday, from noon to 1. What this is an informational lunch and learn to talk about all the enhancements and changes to the Shawnee County Trail System, as well as to kind of prep for all the events that Parks and Recreation will be putting on for July, which is National Parks and Recreation Month. So this is something that came up for our internal Shawnee County Health Department Employee Health and Wellness Committee survey that we did for our staff. They were very interested in learning more about the trail network and what happens with Parks and Rec so that we could better facilitate everything that goes on with that department to our, not only our staff, but also to our clients that utilize our services. So as a part of that, we reached out to Director of Park Operations, Jerry Myers, and Deputy Director Tim Laurent to facilitate this lunch and learn. So they are graciously, Jeremy will graciously be offering up his time to do a presentation on the trail network and everything that they have planned excitingly for July as Parks and Recreation Month. So this lunch and learn is open to all county employees as well as the public at large to get as many people there to learn about the exciting things that we've done here in the community with the trails, as well as what Parks and Rec has going on. So with that, I'd answer any questions you might have.
Great.
Don't say anything, but thank you, Craig.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda Oaks from the Health Department. I just wanted to give you a quick follow-up on our child care orientation event that we had Tuesday at Hillcrest. We had 22 people attend. That's the most we've ever had at a child care orientation, so I'm very excited about the turnout. I do want to thank Brian Weiss with IT. He came over and helped us with some glitches that we had. He was in the area, so that was very kind of him. Thank Riva Waiwatis with Child Care Aware of Eastern Kansas who helped us with it, the Hillcrest staff, and then recognize Jennifer Zimmerman, our child care team leader, Andy Graham, the manager, Craig Barnes, who did the advertising. So we're going to do more of these events. I think it was very successful, and we will be doing an after-action report, and we'll send that to you. So thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Anyone else? Commissioner Cook?
I'm sure you will touch on it, but just as a reminder, we don't have a meeting on Monday, but we'll be back on Thursday, the 20th. Commissioner Rippon and I met yesterday at the Momentum 2022 Investors Meeting at the Greater Topeka Partnership. We had an opportunity to hear from people that have been directly affected by Momentum 2022. They included individuals from Washburn Tech East who have improved their abilities to enter the workforce, small businesses that have been fostered and created through the Greater Topeka Partnership, and people investing in downtown. But of all of the speakers for me was the Topeka Youth Council. These were high school students who have come out of their own programming. They've built their own entity, taking ownership in their community and building community pride from the ground up. And that's really, they went from a position of there's nothing to do in Topeka to there's everything to do in Topeka, including this weekend with the Chocolate Festival downtown. So it's good to see improved relations within all branches of our community. So thank you.
Commissioner Rippon?
I have nothing this week.
Really?
I have a conflict with the triathlon, so I won't be participating in that.
Well, I swore last year was the last time I was going to do that. So I don't have anything to add other than to echo what Commissioner Cook said. This is really a big day for our community, and we have a lot to celebrate here. We have a lot to celebrate. Let's make sure we tell everybody that we've got a lot to celebrate in Topeka and Shawnee County. Next item, please.
Item 6, executive session.
There's not a need for an executive session, so we're officially adjourned. Thank you for attending.
Susie or somebody can find out about what they're planning on doing about getting
Thank you so much.
The one